Hello friends! It's the day we've been waiting for all winter. Today we put in the 2016 garden. Stay tuned. The first step was to get rid of the plastic that I used for solarizing. Now I've got to say it was an interesting experiment. It definitely did reduce the amount of weeds that I had in that grassy section. I think in part it was because the grass smothered them. Look at how long it got, except for the parts that died and became yellow. I think I will definitely use this plastic again for hoop houses, and I might use it again for solarizing, I'm not sure. There were very few weeds underneath the dirt in the back section there too, so I'd say it was a success. Then I had to go and actually mow that lawn. It was a lot of thatching to do, that's for sure. I was smart in raking it all up, and I put it back in my compost pile. I'm sure I'll be using that in the garden as nice rich compost in a year or two. In preparation for the rototiller, I decided to mow the lawn as low as possible. Any of you who have had to rototill grass before know that that turf is probably pretty hard, and I wanted to get rid of all the grass that would tangle in there to the best of my extent. I did. This rototiller just made mincemeat of the dirt. I was so pleased with it. I ended up going over this section 7 times. I'll show 3 of them here. But when all was said and done, the soil was nice and moist. It was soft, small pellets, exactly the kind of soil that I like to plant in. I've got pretty good soil here. After a week of warm temperatures in the 60s and 70s, it was time to actually plant the garden on May 21st. My first step is always to mark out the sections where my walking paths are going to be laid with mulch. So I just take a hole and I draw them out, and that's the section where I walk so that I don't get confused where I'm planting things. Eventually I'll come back and I'll put some wood chips over this. 2 time lapses that I wanted to showcase now of putting plants in the ground. The first is my salad section, I like to call it. This is going to be 12 plants of lettuce, 12 of Swiss chard, and 12 of kale. Take a look at the ground. This soil is a little bit darker, a little more coarse. This was the grass from the section that we had just rototilled up. And here in the back, this soil is from last year's garden. It's much more fine and a lighter brown. Here I'm putting in a bunch of tomato plants that I'll be able to harvest at different times of the year, and they go in just piece of cake. Alrighty, behold, the garden just got done planting. Doesn't look like much now, but we can look at this in a few months and be pretty impressed. So let's start on the right hand side. A couple changes to the plan that I had. This is going to be salad greens, let's say. We've got lettuce in the back, I got Swiss chard and kale. Over here, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. This, once they start popping up, I'm going to build a trellis sort of for them. There's a melon that's going to be growing up there, soybeans, and peas. Here, just 6 green pepper plants. This is the tomato factory. We've got some small, not cherry tomatoes, but like a medium small size, another small size, and then a big one that bloom at different times of year. And then over here, that is supposed to be a zucchini, pumpkin, 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 real small decorative pumpkins. And then these are going to be eggplants if they come through. This section was the section of things that I had started in the basement that did not go so well. So we're kind of confining them to the back corner and we'll see what happens. And then over here we're going to have beets, carrots, radishes that I'll be pulling and planting throughout the year. A bench is going to go here. And then what do we have in this section? Okay, so it'll look different once we get the mulch down, but this is going to be 2 areas of cucamelons and 2 areas of ground cherries. And there'll be a little path that goes through them in the middle, and then starting here to the end, this will be clear in the middle, but it'll be a pretty sizable area. That's like 7 or 8 feet, and it'll be purple, yellow, green beans, and then okra, because that's going to grow about 7 feet tall, parallel on both sides, and I'm going to have a wire arch that goes like this to walk through, in theory. Over here is the perennial section, and I decided that I was a little overzealous when I was planting the garden and I didn't have enough room for my cucumbers. So I'm putting them in the perennial section. I don't think it's going to hurt the rhubarb behind it any, and I don't really care about getting muddy walking in the path. So I've got my 3 hills of cucumbers, and they'll just go boop, 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 right up there. It'll be perfect. And take a look at how nicely the raspberries are coming in. They're almost to the bottom of the trellis, and it's not even June.
One final word for you, and that's on the dark spots in my garden where my plants are. I ended up putting compost over all of the seeds and around all the plants that I just put in. This is because the compost retains moisture nicely, and eventually as it rains and I water my plants, the nutrients from the compost will go down and feed my food. I'll be giving regular garden updates over the next few months, so don't worry, you'll get to see all of those little green things and seeds grow from nothingness into a monstrosity of food. I'm so excited. This is my food oasis in the middle of a grassy garden, and I love it to death. Thank you for being part of my garden journey in particular. This is one thing that I'm so excited for over the next coming months. Looking forward to hearing how things are going in your garden. Be sure to let me know in the comments section below. Are you trying anything new this year? Any sort of fun things like weird strawberries or ground cherries or weird melons? You know, something new? Let me know. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'm the Midwest Man Mountain. Be sure to subscribe. And until next time, bye!